Hello, everybody. Day later than advertised. Really sorry about that. Tough shit, man. Just wait. Anyway, this is episode 6 of What's the Script. And today, in fact, first of all, how are you, Chris?
Aye, superb, mate. I'm enjoying the weather. You can't see it here yet, but I am rather red and toasty there.
I like your photo sitting outside like a prospector.
So many jokes that we cannot say.
That's true. It's very true. Aye. Good pals with Monsieur Candy, aren't you?
Aye.
So this week, mate, it was my pick. As we know by now, I picked 2002's Signs, directed and written and produced and starred in by M. Night Shyamalan. I just don't like saying his name, but what's the M stand for? Do we know? No?
Mysterious.
Mysterious Night. That's a brilliant name, isn't it? Hello, I am Mysterious Night Shyamalan. I don't come out during the day, you see, because it's not a mystery. So sorry, so I picked this, mate. This is sci-fi, not really, but it's still kind of got a sci-fi bit in it. Suspense thriller in it.
Aye. It ticks a lot of boxes, mate. Actually, Mysterious Nights films, I think this is my favourite. I think it's my favourite because like I said to you, I remember I got to see this in the pictures and I was 10 and
What are you doing in there?
I was terrified. Well, this is the whole thing. I'm sure this was a PG or something like that. Or a 12A.
All right.
I mean, you could get the 12As or something. But
well, I suppose there was no blood, gore or anything like that. There's no real sweary words. So I suppose you're right. Still, wouldn't you? oh no.
Aye, but that's what I mean. I just, it's about aliens. We'll go see it. Won't it be a laugh? I was in that picture hall terrified. You might go to the toilet? No.
Aye, no wonder, mate. I mean, I've seen this a score of times. I watched that again the other night for the sake of the pod, obviously. Just sat in the dark in the room myself, and even though I knew bits were coming, and some bits I'd forgot, just the tension and every hair that I've got on my body was standing up in the end, man. It's a suspense builder. It's one of the best films I've ever seen in my life, man. It really is.
Aye. It's like that saying saying to me, less is more. Know what I mean? Aye. It just plays your imagination a bit.
Am I saying that to you? Aye.
Less is more, big
man. Wanna have a look at my penis there and just couple of bits of knowledge, guys. We'll throw at you. Executive producer on this, Kathleen Kennedy.
Right.
She must have been making the tea for that one because it was a good film. She done no hand in the writing. It was distributed obviously by Touchstone and then Walt Disney. And by the way, box office, mate, the budget of 72 million, which wasn't spent on any CGI. But the box office raked in 408.25 million, so 5.5 times it made its budget. Brilliant.
Oh, superb, mate. Superb. It's like you say, the CGI is lacking, but apparently, Shyamalan didn't get the effect of the aliens they wanted. Because I don't know if it's true, but apparently the aliens were to be invisible, which again would have been a bit more. But who knows? Know what I mean?
Well, there's a good smattering of trivia that we'll probably divulge throughout the film as we always do. But one of the one of the pieces of trivia was that M. Night actually hates doing CGI. He would rather no do it at all. So I think he just went for a wee bit bog standard. But again, less is more. For all you see of it, it's all right. You know what I mean? But it's just a nitpick and an amazing film.
That's what I mean. I think the aliens are on screen for less than 5 minutes through the whole film.
Aye, aye,
It's
that's
because it's not really about the aliens, as mental as it
exactly,
sounds.
exactly. It's really no, mate. And the CGI question came about because it was asked about the cornfields. It says, was that CGI'd? They says, no, not at all. We done that practical. It says, I'd rather not do CGI if I didn't have to. So kudos,
Yeah.
absolute kudos. See, see when it starts, mate, and we get the kind of titles and the music, very Hitchcocky in it.
Aye, it's very like, basic in it. It's
Dun,
of
dun, 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 dun. It's
aye,
like violins and cellos fighting with one another.
aye. See, saying this as well. See, the score, as you say.
Score,
Uh,
man! Let's shoot score, man!
the score plays a big part in this as well, because I think this
Mhm.
is where it's creepy in parts, and it's all down to the score.
Aye, agree with you. Agree with you. Again, as I say, as a tension builder, it's second to none. People are going on today about Jordan Peele, and I don't think you can touch this film, man. Jordan
Nah.
Peele's doesn't get the end result, man. It's always generally a letdown, I think, personally. Other people think he's the best thing since sliced bread, you know what I mean? But he's still on.
Aye. Ah, that's it. Different horses for different courses.
Aye. So before we go into the opening scene, I would just like to dedicate this episode to your friend and mine, Mr. Joseph Carson. He's a work colleague of ours and he's an avid critic of everything. And he generally gives us between 10 to 15 minutes a listen and then makes his mind up in the whole episode. All right. So, Joe, thank you for your feedback. This is in no way, shape, or form a dig. Love it, mate. Just keep it coming. But I wanted to get it in early because I know you'll be kind of switching off in about 7 minutes' time. You know what I mean?
No, it's a Carson.
I know. Nods to Carson. But Joe, this is right up your street, this film. If you haven't seen it, then I'll be extremely disappointed in you because you are Mr. Conspiracy Theorists. Do you know what I mean? My pencil ran away with my dog. Whoa! That could happen, mate. That could happen. Did the pencil have a rubber on it? Did it? Was it a yellow and black stripy pencil? Mate, that can happen, mate. Dogs love pencils, mate.
Aye.
And thanks once again for all the sponsoring from Tone Multimedia, who was the last episode, was last one, Rambo. Thanks again, Tim, for your continued support. Very much appreciated, mate. We'll just hang back and give somebody else a chance. My doors, no stop chatting, mate. Just
Aye. Last, I've got my big fan with his made now, you know what I mean? he's
aye,
champing.
plugged in.
Aye, blowing at me the now, so he is.
One of the guys, it's one of the inflatable dudes that stands outside the car dealerships.
Champing the window.
Right, mate, lead us in, go.
Aye, so we're into this wee house on this big crop field, didn't we? And the first thing is Graham, played by Mel Gibson, wakes up. He thinks he hears screaming, doesn't he? And he's just
Aye,
like,
just
listening.
before it. Aye, or as Americans, you'd probably call him Graham. Hey, Graham. The only person that does call him Graham is Caroline the Polish. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
But every time his brother refers to him, Graham, Graham. But I mean, the first thing you see is a backyard, and the backyard indicates there's children in the house, right? Because there's a swing there and all that kind of stuff. And then he just wakes up and instantly say, well, you see the family portrait, you see the backyard, and then he wakes up himself in a double bed. You know what I mean? So you're like, where's mother? She making pancakes again? Nobody plays mummy.
Aye, but again, and it is Graham. It's like, cause that was the whole thing as well. See, when I was taking notes of this, I just kept writing Mel because I didn't understand the name that they were saying all the way through it. I was like, what?
Meryl.
Aye, no, just Mel Gibson's actual character.
Oh,
I was just writing down Mel because I couldn't. I was like, what are they calling him? So, his father was right into the cocaine, but it sounds it. Graham.
Graham, aye, 3 gram. But then we know, as we've said before, if I was in America, I'd be called Craig. Hey, Craig.
No, very true. But
So,
aye,
you're right, mate. Here's a screen, didn't he?
he's gone about his morning routine, brushing his teeth and stuff, and obviously, aye, aye, it puts the lotion on its skin.
I knew that was coming.
But aye, but it does. It definitely. You hear the wee lassie screaming this time, and he goes in and he sees that his 2 kids are in the room, and he heads outside, met by his brother Meryl, who's played by Joaquin Phoenix.
Joe KX. Joe KX Pihonix.
That they start heading into these cornfields, didn't they? And
Aye,
see,
the two of them just they kind of meet up first and look at one another, and then they turn around like Morecambe and Wise and just run it for the cornfields. So obviously, going through all the corn, any film there's cornfields, mate, just gives me the absolute willies. And I think it's because I've seen Children of the Corn when I was like 10 or something, and that ended it. Never trust somebody called Malachi. What's your name? What? I'm Craig. Who are you? Malachi. Oh no, mate. No. We cannot be friends. No.
I know it just sounds very hot and like devious, that name, doesn't it? Oh, aye. Plus, I don't like cornfields. I just imagine, see, you're running, like, see our day-to-day lives. How many times do you walk into a spider web? Imagine that in a cornfield. That's every 2 steps.
That's what you're worried about. Spider web.
Aye.
Well, I would happily walk into 1,000 million spider webs because my brain's telling me that every bad person in the world is hiding in that cornfield somewhere. So spider webs are just no. There's rapists and murderers who rape rapists and thieves that steal off of rapists and murderers, you know what I mean, in there, and they're going to get me.
I see Stenders, mate.
I see Stenders. I've got nothing left.
Aye, but
obviously he gets to an opening, doesn't he, in the cornfield, mate?
It comes across his wains, doesn't he? And his boy Morgan, and the lass is called Bo, isn't it? Bo,
mate, aye.
And Morgan's just staring into this space, like he says, and he says the dogs are barking. Well, I can hear that, Morgan. But that's you're no seeing what they're seeing right away, you know. Because the camera.
See when he grabs. Aye. See when he grabs Bo, he just says to her, Bo, and dead calmly, didn't he? Are you hurt? And then Bo just looks at him and says, "Are you in my dream too?" And he's like, "This isn't a dream."
Aye. That's a wee bit of foreshadow in there.
The willies.
Aye. But this is it, and they find the wains and then they look out onto what is a big massive crop circle into it. And it's pretty impressive, isn't it?
It's good because as he points out to the police later on, you see it right away because before we even see the vastness yet, you just see his boots at boot level walking onto it. And the first thing I thought it was, I get that much of a fright with his girl screaming that he'd done his boots and all that before he went out, you know what I mean? But let that slide. And then it kind of backs off and you see the vastness is just the one circle. And then wee Bo just says, I think God did it. You see him going, rolling his eyes a wee bit. But
aye. But cuts to another scene, doesn't it? And Graham's on the phone. He must be phoning around his neighbours and stuff. And because he thinks it's been a prank, you know what I mean? Because this must be a thing farmers do to one another. You know what I mean? But turns out everybody that he thinks could have done it have all got an alibi. You know what I mean? I think he says about at the cinema and stuff. Because it's like, I don't know what he says. It was like Dirty Mike and the boys. Were you sure it was them? It wasn't them last night? You know what I mean?
I've written their names down later in my notes there. I can't find them, but they've also got a bit of history with this family. Because you see it later when Meryl goes into the shop and sees one of them. But just then, when he hangs the phone up, wee Bo says to him, "Daddy, dogs peed the kitchen floor." And obviously that's never happened before, but he just starts cleaning it, doesn't he?
I says I take the dog outside and all that, and just no sooner the sheriff arrives, didn't she? And she,
Oh,
the door was open.
I know. Oh, hey, Caroline, thanks for coming. I only phoned you 2 hours ago.
Aye.
And she goes into a mad tirade, a pure small town kind of explanation of why she was late, like pure disaster. Old Mrs. Carruthers was at it again. She fell and
Aye.
she was getting me jip and that.
Aye.
Mental.
She was shouting at boys out there skateboarding, and then she went into the shop and she spat all of the new skateboards, and she must have had a cold or something, because I'll no eat for a week.
We get a little first glimpse of Bo drinking for a cup. No, she's giving it to the dog, isn't she? And her brother comes out and goes, "What's wrong? The water tastes funny. It's contaminated." So Morgan drinks some, goes, "There's nothing wrong with it." They gate to the dog, don't they?
Aye.
So she's got a little wee phobia.
Aye. But Doug just starts acting aggressive, doesn't it? And just because even then, I wasn't expecting that in the pictures either. Because it's that big loud like bark, and you're like, oh dear.
Aye. And then it's preceded by by Doug knows it, not towards them, but when it's recoiling and it's got the bloody gums out and all that, and growling, you're like, "Oh, here, get away from that doggy." Jesus.
But aye, then with Graham and the sheriff into it, they're out on the cornfield and they're looking at it, and it's a tiny wee detail, but it was kind of creepy again, wasn't it? That the corn wasn't actually snapped; it had been folded right round, and you're like, that's pretty impressive.
Aye, pure symmetrical, pure
Aye.
pattern to it. So obviously we know now that that wasn't CGI, and Shyamalan had people out there folding corn. Do you know what I mean? But
Aye.
you're right, mate. Just that wee thing makes all the difference. It's just you're like, what a bit of detail, man. But she then says, "I need to go. I've been kind of run off my feet today. A lot of animals are acting up, like turning on their owners and peeing themselves and such."
Aye.
That's when he goes like
Aye, I should say that. It's like that's behaviour of the day when there's a predator in the area, sort of thing. And you're like,
that.
all right.
So
But
he
then,
just pans away, doesn't he, and just looks into the middle distance. And she's like, "What's wrong, Graham?" "I don't hear my children," didn't he?
aye, know what I mean? Like like they were having a rave when they went into the cornfield, know what I mean?
Aye, aye, because she calls him father a couple of times, and he says, "Caroline, please stop calling me father."
Aye.
Oh,
But that's they run back in it, and wee Morgan's stabbed the dog with some barbecue fork prong thing into it. He's obviously visibly upset with it, but he says that it was trying to kill Bo, his wee sister. And see, there and then, this is when I wanted Morgan to die. You don't stab the dog. That is it. Leave the dogs alone.
if I remember correctly, you were quite happy about 3 dogs getting stabbed last week.
Aye, but nobody likes a Doberman. They're bad bastards. That's German Shepherds. He's just stuck 2 holes in there. And then,
Because you've got
more to the point,
one, you
aye,
can advocate them eating children.
aye, more to the point, they gave the dog contaminated water. All he was merely doing was lodging a complaint, and he gets stabbed for it.
Aye, I wish to lodge a complaint by tearing your face off. But you're right, mate. As Morgan says, he fell on me. He wanted to kill Bo. So, wee brother done his duty there. Big up to wee Morgan, who is one of the Culkins, isn't he?
Aye, can't
Who,
remember his
like all
name.
the Culkins, are great little kind of child actors and just end up ugly and garbage when they're older. Because he ends up in Scream Is it the last one? He's the
No,
brother.
sure.
He's the brother, isn't he? He's got the kind of longer hair, or is it the one before it?
I
I
think
think
it's
the
the
one
one
before
before
it. Aye, or the one, but even the one before that, Jesus,
that.
because I think he stabbed the wee lassie for Heroes. Aye,
Did she die?
well, he's in that. Aye.
She may have been the only one. Oh.
So Graham tells Meryl, go and tie up Elizabeth. Like, who the hell's Elizabeth? Poor woman. It's another dog.
Aye. But they said it again, it's night time. And Graham's woke up by Bo and it just staring at his bed like a wee creepy child of the corn.
Hello, father.
Daddy.
I know. And I woke up and hooked her. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
But then, have you ever done that with like the dog? Woke up and the dog's just looking right through you.
Aye.
What is it? Get away! Run! Go on there, get!
Oh, it's like I've said to you a couple of times. I've woke up about like 3 a.m. a couple of times, and the dog stood on the end of my bed, like kind of stooped with the hackles up, looking out into the hall. Know what I mean? That's 3 a.m. and I'm like,
You're giving me the
heebies.
the sideways bums here. Don't even think that's a thing, but I just said it. So I both says to him, didn't she? Just very calmly. There's a monster in my room. Can I get a drink of water?
Aye. And then she does like Tam and Still Game.
She keeps saying as well, the water tastes old, doesn't it? Tastes funny. Because Graham starts picking up all the glass. Well, he tries to start picking up all the glasses of half-finished water and stuff that she's left lying about.
Yep.
And I'd really love to know what he needs so many tumblers in the house for.
No, I mean, a family of 4. But he's putting Bo back to bed, isn't it? And this just catches you like, unawares again, isn't it? Because the next thing he looks out the window and he sees the silhouette of a person standing on the roof.
Just before it does say, look, she mentions her mum, didn't she? Do you still talk to mummy?
Aye, why do you still talk to mum at night?
Aye. So does she answer you? And he goes, no. And then she says, me neither. Mel Gibson's got a brilliant thing. He does with his eyes and his throat. It kind of wrenches you, man. It's as if he's gulping down tears in it.
Aye.
He does it in Lethal Weapon, does it in everything, man. You're like, oh, what happened to the woman? But then, as you say, mate, you're not feeling that for very long. Aye. You're rewinding and pausing is what you're doing. What did he say?
Aye. No, I mean, it's just boom. Like you says, the music changes and everything again, doesn't it? Just to catch you. Oh. But
just to get that little bit of excrement out of your anus. It's brilliant.
But this is it, isn't it? The next thing, Graham has went and got Meryl, isn't it? And this is it.
They're so calmly.
Aye.
Oh, Jesus, there's somebody in my roof, but...
Aye.
You know how I know you're there? You're touching him ever so gently.
Oh, brilliant, man. Oh, but they think it's Dirty Mike and the boys, right? Because I can't remember their name. But
Let's go to your best. Lionel Pritchard and the Wolfington brothers are back. What a band they sound like.
Oh, the Dukes of Hazzard there. Just the 2 old boys. Never meaning no harm.
Now, some folks would have stayed in their bed that night, but not our Graham. He woke his brother ever so tenderly.
But that's it. See, this is there's wee spatters of comedy through this, isn't there? Because Meryl's, it's time to kick some ass and all this. We'll get this done. You need to go out there and you act crazy, like you're angry, like you're going to do stuff. And obviously, Graham being a pastor, he's just, I've no got that in me.
what do you mean, act crazy? And he goes, cuss. You know I can't cuss. Well, act crazy, like, how do I act crazy? And he's like, what, are we going to do this or not? So she said their plan is to run out the front door. The two of them go opposite ways around the house and meet back again, isn't it?
Aye. But it's just, see the next thing, they just bust out this screen door. And to begin with, Graham, Mel Gibson's character, runs the same direction as his brother Merrill before he goes, no, I'm supposed to go this way. But then the next thing, instead of the cussing, like this says Unity Day, he starts going like that. I'm insane with anger.
No, sees he's running. It's a face. It's a big surprise face. As I don't know what I'm doing. It's like Forrest Gump running at the ranch that time. Oh, I am insane with anger. And obviously Merrill's doing it the way we would do it. Like, I'm gonna kick your ass. I'm gonna take your name, man.
You got pretty skin. But it's just, they get round the back of this house, don't they? They meet each other, and they're just letting shot. Well, where is he? And then that's when he hears
they've
something.
done it, but the searchlight goes on just in front of them, and a bin gets knocked over just in front of them, doesn't it?
Aye, because you hear like something scuttling on the roof again, don't they? And that's when they're like, they're looking up, like, who is this guy, sort of thing.
Again, mate, see when they hear the scuffs and the two of them look up, that's when the music goes. You're like, whoa!
That's it.
Melting off the chair.
And like you says, the next time they hear the noise behind them, and they turn round, and the swing is just swinging on its own, and you see the crops moving, and you're just like, oh dear, oh.
I remember I said earlier that there's nothing more frightening than a cornfield. I lied. A cornfield at night. That's 10 times worse. This children's play swing is like 10 feet behind them, and the impression is something's knocked into it and then ran into the corn, because they've just turned around, seen the swing, and then seen the corn getting kind of disturbed, if you will, man. You're like, oh no.
But no sooner it's the next day, isn't it? And it's breakfast time. But the sheriff's round for a breakfast and all. She's round for a rolling square, know what I mean? A wee cuppa. she's just saying to me,
simpler times when you could get 4 slices for like £1.25.
Oh,
Did I just say slice there?
Aye.
Jesus, I'm sorry. I apologise to every Glaswegian who was ever born. I don't know where that came from. That's for having too many Ayrshire pals. Slice. How dare I? Listen, see, after this, I'm going to the toilet and I'm going to Da Vinci Code myself in the back, no, that, for saying that. It's squared sausage. Sorry, my friend. Pulse is in for breakfast.
Aye. But she's talking to Merrill at the same time, isn't it? And she thinks it's a good idea that he moved in with his brother after what happened and all that stuff, know what I mean? And Joaquin Phoenix is sitting at the edge of the table, isn't he? And he's just acting like a wee boy, isn't he? Just looking at the table. I don't mind, is all.
I don't think I'm helping much. And she just looks at the reins and looks at him and goes, yes, you are. Oh. Because you're see, as this goes on, I know you're going to find shorter and shorter ways to say his name.
But again, this is like Graham's walking around the house, isn't he? And he, again, like you says earlier, he's finding half-drank glasses of water everywhere, isn't it? Some lying on top of the TV set and all that. And again, we both like, it's contaminated, it's old. Morgan drank out of that. There's a bowler or something in it. I'm like, oh.
Because he started like, you can see him mentally saying, right, I'm getting rid of these tumblers. And he picks up about 6, and then he looks to his right and sees another 4 and goes, just puts them all down again so he can't be bothered. Which is quite handy later in the film.
Aye.
But wee Morgan is playing with a baby monitor, isn't he?
Aye, because he's playing with the police radio to begin with, and That's when the sheriff says to him, listen, if you've got an old baby monitor, you can use that as a walkie-talkie. Only goes one way, but until there's an old one at the police station, you can keep that. And it's like, oh, that's dead nice, that. But then the two brothers go to describing what happened the night before, didn't they?
Well, you say explaining. They've got a hell of a trouble explaining, really, because so you were saying, guys, so far I've wrote down here, you said it was dark. Can you tell me anything else? And they mumble and look at another and go, it was dark.
Aye. So far, I've got written down here a description. It was a 6-foot midget. What?
No, we don't think that, and I don't care for sarcasm.
Aye.
Aye, so it then explains the fact that whoever it was got up onto the roof like he's never known or seen before. And they kind of explain it as an Olympian.
Aye.
And then the sheriff says, how do you know it was a man? She takes pure feminine offence, know what I mean? How do you know it was a man? Could have been a woman Olympian.
Aye.
And Merrill just has had a rough, but this time he's getting annoyed. He says, excuse the possibility that excusing the possibility that a female Scandinavian Olympian was running around our house last night. What else might be a possibility?
Aye. And I
I
don't appreciate sarcasm. Aye. But it comes down to it because the sheriff had a report that was a strange woman in town. So maybe that was the prime suspect because there was like nobody else like she would have thought of doing it. Know what I mean? But
a strange report about the woman for The Simpsons that throws the cats at people. Was cutting about. Yeah. Oh, it could have been her jumping roofs in the like middle of the night.
Aye. But this is all cut away into it with wee Bo into it. She just says it's the same thing. It's on all the TV channels, and that draws the attention of the adults on it and back to the TV. And it turns out these crop circles are all over the world, and like that. Oh my, this is again just using like wee simple things. Let's see the news reporter like either this is the biggest hoax ever in human history, or something has made contact with us, and you're just like that.
And he's obviously meant to be some sort of professor of this kind of stuff, and he just looks like scared. He goes, just look at the pictures, folks, and make what you will of this. Unbelievable. And they're just looking at it, and it's all signs and that. You see all over the world. But then just look at it for silence until Morgan says extraterrestrials.
Aye.
Easy for me to say.
Aye. But there's like the sheriff says to Graham, isn't it? Like your family's been through a lot. Like, turn the TV off, go into town, become a normal family again, and move past all this. Know what I mean?
Yeah, sell a bottle of Jaeger and go up to dancing. But this is all preceded by her saying, like, frightening the living God at him, first of all, because she says, you know, I've done some digging, and it could probably take 2 or 3 men today with the crop circle in your field's done. But this amount, it's baffling, you know what I mean?
Aye. That's it. Just
thanks for that, Hen.
I just dripping wee bits of attention and all the way into it, just dripping, grabbing it.
And this is where she says, you take care of yourself, Graham. Says his name properly.
That's it. Graham's all happy with that, isn't he? But
so next scene, we're going into town. We've got GBX on, Wendy's done. Soap their oak and all that.
Aye. Because the radio is still reporting all these crop circles into it, and Graham just turns the radio off like that. No, we're not paying that any attention. We're going to be a normal family and a normal shop for normal people. And like he says, Morgan's first port of call in it. He goes into this bookshop and asks for a book on extraterrestrials.
And the old bookstore guy just sitting there shouting at the telly, isn't he?
Aye, he's like, It's all a hoax just so they can sell soda. 12 soda commercials I've seen since this all started.
See when the car's riding into town and it suddenly just shoots up to an aerial view.
Mhm.
I got the is this aliens watching him? Do you know what I mean? Get into tune and all that. But
Possibly,
that
mate.
was probably just
Possibly.
me, I suppose. But that's quite funny. The next thing, like Graham goes into the chemist's and he just wants Morgan's prescription. But little Tracy Abernathy. Everybody in a film is saying name Abernathy's a weirdo, man.
I know, man.
Yeah. She's like, Father, she wants confession, didn't she, basically?
Do you know who she is?
No.
Do you remember The Walking Dead? The medic that gets shot with the eye, gets shot in the eye with
Is
a bow
it?
and arrow. That's her.
Aye.
Aye.
Oh, there you are.
Aye. There
I
you
liked
go.
her better than The Walking Dead.
But she just wants she doesn't just she wants to dish out this confession, doesn't she? And he's like, listen, I'm not, I don't do that anymore. And she just talks at him anyway. Oh, brilliant, man. And then cut to Merrill. He's in the army recruitment office, isn't he?
Aye.
And see this wee recruiter, general looking guy. He is a weirdo, mate. So incredibly weird. Because he's sitting there all intense. And he's like, these things we're talking about, this is just like a tactic we would do. We would send people in, lay the groundwork, get all the positions, and then prepare. And Merrill says, look, prepare for what? For the rest of them. You know what I mean? And you're just, it's a bit intense, mate.
That's it. It says that. It says it's recon mission. You're like that. And he describes it in a T, evidently. But he's, you're right, he is. He's very matter of fact about it. So I know what this is all about. You know what I mean? You're like, all right, mate. So the fact I was quite, you're like that. So what's Mero in the army office for? Was he planning to, like, go to the army? Something like that? Was he going to leave Graham and the kids? Who knows? But as he's walking out, well, just before he's walking out, he says his name and he says, hey, you Merle Huss that's got the all-time distance record for like home runs or something like that. You've done it 3 times, and he says 5. So, wow, what an arm, man! What, you know what I mean? What happened to you? Why you know in the big leagues?
Do you hear what he
And he
says
just
to him?
said this wee voice.
See what he says to him, no? He's like, wow, what are you doing here? You should have beautiful women licking your toes.
Fetish.
I just get that mad. Fine tune the fat. The guys in the motor room. And the mad guys like that. Feet. Hum, 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 hum.
Aye, a limmy. Mate. What's your thing? What? Don't have a thing. Go, come on, mate. How? Hi. What's your thing?
Oh, so mental, man.
The wee voice, it says, why don't you have women, beautiful women licking your toes? This wee voice comes out and goes like, because he also holds another record, most strikeouts in one season. And it's Lionel Pritchard, who's one of the Pritchard boys, who's what Graham thinks is attacking the house.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, is that true? Do you have that record too, son? He goes, aye, mate. But as he's walking out, just does the,
He also says it all, didn't he? It felt wrong not to swing. And you're just like,
aye. It's true. You're out there to swing away. But aye. It just,
Graham, he's still in the chemist listening to this last entry, rolling his eyes. And then, again, see what I'm saying, there's bits of comedy through this. There's a wee guy must have been stalling about him for about 5 minutes because the next time he kicks round his shoulder. Like, come on.
I forgot about him, man. It's like a pure aeroplane moment, isn't it? But what am I writing here? So Bo is still saying the water is bad, isn't she? Because they eventually where is it? She says the water is bad. Is it in the bookshop or did they meet back up in the?
No, they were in the bookshop, but all the family meet up in a pizzeria. They're all having pizza.
Small town America have pizzerias.
They must.
Just found that weird. It's like the town that all the farmers go to. Yes, I was rearing on beef, milk, eggs, fresh vegetables. Where you going? Gonna get myself some pizza.
Oh, what do you know, mate? What do you know?
I'm being cantankerous, I know.
But it's in this moment, isn't it, that Graham obviously sees M. Night Shyamalan, who is playing a guy called Ray, who is responsible for his wife's death, isn't it?
Ray's a veterinarian as well.
Aye.
So you can imagine he's been run off his feet the last couple of days while the animal's gone berserk. But you're right, mate. He sees him at the pizzeria. Just before that, he's warned all his family. Like, I never want to see any of yous hanging around Tracy Abernathy yourselves ever again. But when they're all looking, is it the Morgan says to him, is that him?
Aye. And it's Meadow, it says aye. And again, you just get that Mel Gibson stare into it, like he says, obviously swallowing back some form of emotion. You know what I mean? And it's just, it's a deep moment. It's a deep moment. It's not a lot said.
Later on, it's manslaughter in it. It's no murder. It's a tragic kind of accident, or meant to be. But we'll get to that. But they get home, and it's no sooner have they pulled the car up than the baby monitor just starts going mental, doesn't it?
They're starting hearing these signals. Like the Morgan says it's the aliens talking into it, and obviously the Mero and Graham are just like writing it off. Nah, behave yourself. It's all part of your imagination and all this stuff. And Graham takes the baby monitor, doesn't he? And he goes, right, come on, gets out the car. But as he gets out the car, they get a better signal, don't they? And then you hear this like howling noise that comes through the baby monitor. Again, is terrifying.
As do you know that only it's probably not going to resonate with a lot of people, but there's a Travis song starts, and it's baby, you've been going so crazy lately, we gonna sing, right?
Aye.
Travis song called Sing. I go there eventually, and that's how it starts. But that means nothing to anybody apart from me. But as it's haunting, man, it's haunting it, and then all of a sudden, Merrill is on board with it. After kind of, don't talk rubbish. Oh, it's getting stronger. Let's get it higher.
He's like, don't let it go. You'll lose the signal, sort of thing. And it's that wee creepy music comes in. It's like a John Carpenter kind of music. It comes in. You're like, oh dear. But no sooner they're all on top of this car, aren't they? With wee Morgan holding the baby monitor up to the sky, and you can hear what sounds like a conversation with two things talking into it.
The clicks, pure clicks. Which, if I'd never seen the aliens, I'd have known where they were from, because it's the exact same as the Geonosians, the Geonosis,
that's
and Attack of the Clones. But it's unnerving. But no sooner have they got it higher than it's as if they know, oh, they're listening to us, and it cuts off, man.
Yep, that's it. But right, it's back to night time again, isn't it? And Graham's out there, the last Doug. He saw it was some water in a bowl, isn't it? Again, he still thinks it's a prank, doesn't he? And he's just looking at this cornfield, because the Doug's barking at the cornfield again, isn't he? And he just, I'm going to investigate this myself. Goes into the old toolbox and gets a trusty torch, doesn't he? And just, see, this wouldn't be in my makeup at all. Sees that Doug's barking at that cornfield, I'm like, I'm away back into the house.
Mate, it's the exact same. I mean, I don't speak dog, right? But I know that dog is saying, get away, stay out of my house, don't you dare come closer to me, I can see you in there. But I'm taking the Doug's side. Woof, vamonos. Don't care how big my torch was.
But as Graham's passing through the cornfield, isn't he? You can hear all the clicks running about him into it. And he's like that, and he's looking from side to side and kind of getting spooked until he comes out to the big crop circle again into it. And it's just dead quiet. There's like a wee bit of a surface like mist in it. And he's just standing there and he starts shouting out, "You're going to feel very ridiculous when you get caught about this. I'm not going to phone the police. No, go on, yet, be on your way."
You're not going to be famous. You know what I mean? Because I'm not going to call the police. You think he's shouting because he knows there's somebody there, or he's shouting to convince himself? Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
Look, but because I don't think he is. Do you know what I mean? He's not convinced, but he sees movement in the corn. He runs after it, doesn't he? And he gets to that opening, which I guess cornfields must have like runways in them. You know what I mean?
Aye.
And he looks right and left and nothing
Aye.
there, and then he flips the torch.
He hears this wee, he hears a wee click behind him, didn't he? And that's when he drops it. And the next thing, it's just a still picture, and you're looking at this corn in the nighttime, and it's just letting you play with your imagination again. Like, can I see it? Can I not see it? Whatever. But he goes down to pick up his torch, doesn't he? And as he turns it on, the beam of light hits a leg that's standing just out of the corn into it, and the next thing it bolts away. And
Doug, what are you doing? Frightening me there, dog. Shite, yeah.
But that's it. That music kicks in again, and the bold Graham, he takes off, doesn't he?
I would imagine it would have been at a rate of knots, because I would have had a jobbied myself then ran after my body started working again. But the way he walks into the house, it's just, again, with a calmness, probably stunned, isn't he? What he thinks he's seen. He just sits down with it, telling him.
He's just pure shell shocked in it, because they all like kind of catch onto them and they're in way into it, and they're just like, "Oh, what's going on?" Know what I mean?
Aye.
But
he just says, "You get a fright there," and he just says, "I think we should turn on the TV."
Aye, time to turn on the TV into it and see what's going on out there, and it's the whole world's getting visited into it. All these UFOs are in the sky, and everybody's in a panic.
The one thing, I suppose, looking at it critically now, would be, why did they not go outside and look up and see lights as well? If their crop markings was a sign of land here, know what I mean? But do you know what I mean? Again, that's pernickety. But it just seems to be that they've appeared everywhere in the world above the crop signs, apart from his farm. But maybe it's because he's onto them. I don't know.
Yeah, but they're up watching this all night, aren't they? And it just ends up Meryl and Graham awake at night, and Meryl's spooked, isn't he? He's looking for like comfort for Graham, but
he's just looking for comfort, mate, for his big brother, and his big brother who was a priest, and he didn't get it basically. But without poo-pooing it there and then, he just gives him a scenario. He says, "Look, there's two sorts of people. Two sorts of people. People want to look at that light and think it's an anomaly, a coincidence, and explain it away. And then another one will think it's a miracle and a sign, and they're no scared because they think wherever they're going to heaven. And then the other people, they don't. Know what I mean?
Aye.
You've got to ask yourself, which one are you?
Aye, they'll be the ones that don't believe will be led by fear, and the other ones will be led by hope. And it comes into that Meryl, "Oh, I'm a believer. I believe it's a sign and all this." But then, for some reason, Graham just totally cuts him down, didn't he? It's just like, well, I don't think it's a sign. It's the end of the world and we're all going to die.
Basically.
In a more romantic way.
Meryl's just disgusted looking at him and just says, why can't you just be the way you used to be? Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
So Meryl talks about, in a way to explain it, he talks about miracles as a time back in high school when he was just plucking up enough courage to kiss this girl, but he realised he had chewing gum in his mouth. So he went to spit it out, and by the time he turned around to kiss her, she vomited everywhere. And he thinks that was an act of God saving him for getting spewed in his mouth.
That's it. And it's, again, this as well. Graham, what says to him, his wife's last words to him, well, swing away, sort of thing. And he's just like, no, was that a sign for it? Was that got to do with anything, sort of thing? Know what I mean? There are no signs. What is going to happen is going to happen, because he's well, what happened? Graham completely lost his faith, didn't he? And he's just like, there is no plan for anything, because what happened to us, sort of thing, isn't it?
Aye.
And
He's nasty there to his brother, because he could have said, my wife's last words were swing away. So she was thinking of you when she passed. That'd have been lovely.
Aye.
But it doesn't. He explains it. He says, do you know why she said that? Because the electric lights fired in her brain, and a sudden memory of you playing baseball quintet. That was it.
Aye.
Nothing to do with nothing.
That's
and
it.
then as you say, mate, there's no signs, there's nothing, there's blah blah blah. We're all gonna perish.
That's it. There's nobody up there looking out for us. It's done.
Aye.
We're done.
We're all on our own. That's the last word he says.
Aye.
So next scene is a flashback, and it's Graham, Mel Gibson,
Aye.
Father Mel, whatever you want to call him, turning up at the scene of a road traffic accident, and he's got the dog collar on, isn't he?
Aye. And he walks up and he sees the sheriff, and she's got a tear in her eye, and it's just it flashes by that, doesn't it? Because it doesn't go into great detail or anything. You know what I mean? It's just you're walking up, and there's obviously an accident and stuff, and the next thing, it's back in the house, in it, with Graham waking up on the couch. It's just, but he goes up and he sees like somebody's been in here and stole my telly. And he follows this cable, didn't he, into the wee cupboard under the stairs. And Meryl's in there like Harry Potter watching the news, isn't he? And what is it he says? Oh, I brought it in here for protection for the children, so they didn't get brainwashed.
Aye. There's been developments. He's all hyper, he's all panicky, man.
Aye, because they say that all the aircraft that were in the sky have all disappeared, but they've been running this footage all day, and it shows you a bird flying into the sky and hitting something and dropping down dead. So he's like, so they're still there, they're just invisible. Which, again, apparently M. Night Shyamalan wanted the aliens to be invisible. So maybe the CGI was they decided to put CGI in later or something, I don't know.
But he just dismisses it, shuts the door while Meryl's still trying to talk to him, goes looking for his kids, and then finds them in the room, doesn't he? Sitting with a tinfoil hats on, reading an alien book.
Aye, sitting with his tinfoil hat on, and he looks at them like, oh my God, man. But it then sits down, doesn't he? Because Morgan's got this wee book, and Morgan starts telling him there's two types of aliens. One, they'll come here and they'll try and expand with us and make it like a bigger universe and all that stuff. And two is the other one that are just here to invade, take over with stuff and whatever. Know what I mean? But as Graham's like threading through this book, he comes across a picture, doesn't he? And it's just like a big flying saucer like beaming onto this wee house that looks like theirs. But on the other wee page, you just see two kids and obviously an adult lying dead on the grass, know what I mean? And that's like the first sign, isn't it?
Because he says to him, he goes, hey, that kind of looks like our house, doesn't it? And you're like, oh, Jesus. The bit of trivia was that all the illustrations in that book were done by Shyamalan's daughter. So they were
Aye, that's
quite
not bad.
cool.
That.
There's a lot of trivia in this film where he incorporates himself and his family into it, which we'll get to as we go along. But Bo just hits it with, "I don't want you to die," to her brother, didn't he?
Aye.
He's like, "Who says I'm going to die?"
Aye.
That Bo can see some things, man.
This is actually like, I seen it in a dream. You're like that. Oh, but Graham's in the house and he receives a phone call and somebody on the other line, but they don't speak and just hang up, didn't he? But tell me, this guy, he missed his calling as a detective because he pieces together that it was Ray that called him and he's going to see him.
Not unless we didn't see him off camera doing, I think the Americans call it Star 21, innit? To get the
Aye,
number,
maybe.
and we're 1471, I think.
Aye.
But aye, it's mental. He ends up pulling up outside Ray's house.
Aye.
Again, there's just an eerie quiet about everywhere in this film that you're like, what's going on, man?
Aye. Aye, because
And
he looks into.
looks in the window.
Aye, because it looks like there's been a struggle and all that, didn't there? Like, there's a seat and a desk toppled there and stuff, and he's looking about, and this is when he sees Ray in his truck, didn't he? Just sitting
Aye.
at the wheel, like it's a bit weird. Know what I mean? But
Aye.
he goes up, didn't he? And he's talking to Ray, and he about did you call me and stuff, and again Ray is just in a trance, isn't he?
And he looks in the back of the car as well, and all his belongings are in there, and Ray just starts talking to him about how, like, I've had your number beside my phone for 6 months. I've never had the courage to call you. I don't know why I did there. And he's like, right, okay. But again, another bit of trivia to this was M. Night Shyamalan actually did lose a member of his family the day before this scene was filmed. So that's just how he plays it so bloody well, just numb. You know what I mean? He does a fantastic scene, man. He really does.
But he tells Graham about that night, that the accident with his wife and all that, that he'd fell asleep at the wheel. He'd never fallen asleep at the wheel before. And he's like, if she'd have been walking about 2 minutes faster or whatever, he would have completely missed her and ended up in a ditch. And it just seems like it was supposed to happen that night.
Oh. Even he said that, it's like it was meant to be. It's when Mel Gibson does, right after it, you can see him holding it back, man, swallowing down hard again, and where any other guy would have probably dragged him out the car and done him in. But after he says that, he right away kind of says, like, I'm sorry for what I've done to you and yours. Do you know what I mean? And then he just starts his car up, looks away and goes, don't go into my pantry, father. I've locked it in there. Like, what?
He just takes off, doesn't he? Just like, oh, fuck. But,
Don't think they like water. Like, he's got in a lake.
As it says, I'm going up to the lake because they seem to, all these crop circles and all this, they all seem to be round about areas without water. So I don't think they like water. And you're like, okay.
So they've decided to invade a planet that's 2/3 water. Okay, that's good. Let's a recon there. But he's kind of left the father with this unanswered questions. You've locked what in the pantry? You know what I mean?
Exactly. But it then cuts back to Meryl, right? See this? I remember, again, being in the pictures, mate, and see this part. Absolutely terrifying. And it's nothing. It's like a nothing scene, but it's hot. It's terrifying.
You're right. You're right. It's a sugary camera. It's, again, another bit of trivia. M. Night Shyamalan filmed this himself while on a family holiday in Brazil. So it is actually Brazil. He's obviously got relatives or family over there. And like you say, mate, it's the what am I going to see? What am I going to see? What's happening? What the wind running to the window for? And then I think the music again does it.
It definitely does, doesn't it? because it's like a news report into it that they're getting a video from Brazil, warning these scenes are frightening or whatever, and it's just like he says, it's this family camera. It's moving from window to window, and then it focuses up this path, and there's a big bush, and there's a street, and all this up ahead of it, and see what we Meryl's like that. Come on, children, out of the way, children.
Vamonos!
Aye. That again, like you says, it's the music. It just like builds, and then the next thing, this alien just comes out for the bushes, done it, and just walks by the screen. But it's like the drop and the music and everything. It's just, oh dear.
And all the while, the news reporter's saying our experts have tested the footage and the film, and first reports are that this is genuine. It's not been tampered with.
Aye.
And then it shows you again paused, and obviously nowadays you're looking at things like that's horrible CGI, but it's not about that. You know what I mean? It's about the whole building in the moment, and you're like, oh, they're here. Oh, they're here.
Oh,
on the ground. They're walking about. Oh. Looking after the Wayne's presence in Brazil here.
Oh, but it cuts back to Graham in it, and he is now in Ray's house, walking towards this door, and you can see this shadow moving about behind the door, can't you? And you're
that's frightening as well, because the shadow's no hiding. To me, it just looks like it's pacing up and down this bloody room, annoyed. Oh, get away with
it. Aye. But again, Graham thinks it's like a prankster, isn't it? And he pretends to be the police. We've caught all your friends, we've taken them away in a paddy wagon, and he's like that. He starts like, paddy wagon, come on.
Oh.
Aye. He's trying to come out, make a deal, admit what you've done, and you'll get the same deal as your friends got. And obviously there's no answer.
Come on now, son. Aye. But then he sees us getting no action, no answer, no nothing. Still sees a shadow. Goes up towards the pantry and he can see the chopping boards. Obviously Ray's been making dinner with some chopped vegetables, and he finds a big kitchen knife. So sees his reflection and thinks, "Ha I'll go down to the crack in the bottom of the door. I'll see what's happening."
Yeah,
but he doesn't see anything, didn't he? No. First off,
it doesn't get right done, so he can't see anything. But the way the camera set up here, it's like you're on at the door. Know what I mean? You're just seeing like Mel Gibson ducking down, and it's just he gees up the first try, didn't he? And he walks away like he's going to leave the house, but he has to see what's under there. Like, is everything that's happening real, or is it just what imagination's running away with us? Know what I mean?
Aye, because it's like he gets himself into trouble as if, what am I doing here? I'm getting. And then he gets to the hall and goes, "No, I need to look, I need to see." And then, this is so strange, but it works the exact same way, right? We've just talked about how, getting off shivery thinking about it. The music played such a part in that sighting of the alien, right? This time, he just goes down on his honkers, right down, and it's deathly silence apart from the hand coming out and scratching his nails. There's no music. You just hear him going, "Ah!" You're like, "Oh, yeah!"
Hey, that's it.
And the knife, when the knife goes through the alien fingers, that's when the music hits. You're like, "Oh, fuck Christ." Oh, it's broad daylight, I know.
Because it lets out a scream into it, and he screams at the same time into it, and it's just like, oh. But
see if my window cleaner appears at this window when I'm doing this, I'm going to collapse, man. The Doug will gaff its nut, you'll hear ladders, and I'll be, off you.
But Graham returns home, doesn't he? And he now finds Meryl with a tinfoil hat on as well, doesn't he? And the three of them are just sitting there. Like, it's just, and he's going, "Oh, this is mental." Oh. But Graham asks Morgan, what would happen if these aliens were actually invading here? What would they do? And Morgan lays out the whole invasion plan, know what I mean? Like he's fought in a Star Wars or something.
Plays good. He plays a great part for such a young boy in this. He does. He articulates very well, and like you say, talks like a military man, doesn't he?
Mm.
He says, "Well, they'll try and use up all their resources, maybe enslave some of us, not mean to help them with their chores, move on to the next one, or they'll just be hostile,
Aye,
which means invasion, wipeout, kind of
that's it.
thing." Again, Morgan, well, sorry, Graham says, "Well, I was just at Ray's house there. He seems to think they don't like water. I'm thinking the same. Let's put it to a vote, didn't they?"
Aye, aye, because he says he was just at the Ray's house as well, and one of them was trapped in a pantry, and he got the distinct feeling that it wanted to harm him. So he was like, "They're no nice aliens. It's no ET we're dealing with here."
Oh,
But like you
no,
says,
Alf.
aye, like you says, they have a vote into it. Do we stay at the house or do we go to the lake? And Graham gets voted out, doesn't he?
Aye.
It's just,
He tries to play
oh,
the account for two. Do you know what I mean? Because your mammy's not here, so we're going to the lake. Morgan doesn't have it. That's bullshit. Hey, mind your language. And
aye,
then wee Bo changes his vote, so he's gubbed.
that's it. But he sits down, we're just going to, as it says, we're going to board up all these windows. And he's like, well, what makes you think that's going to make a difference? And he's like, because they seem to have a problem with pantry doors. Aye.
He'd be a throwaway line, but very apt, man. So next thing we know, Meryl's just coming back to the house with some supplies. The wind's blowing through the corn and all that. And I think it's a bit of a dead scene. He flings a rock into the corn, didn't he?
Aye.
And I was half expecting the rock to come flying back when the first time I saw this, or
Aye.
a bigger hustle or bustle, but nothing happens.
Nah. But, aye. It's the whole thing, isn't it? It
On the
comes.
TV, the lights are back, aren't they? And
Aye.
more of them, plenty of them.
Aye, that's it. Aye, they're everywhere. They're all amassing of them, massive cities, isn't it? And the army and the National Guard and all that have all been assembled to deal with this stuff. And it's following chaos. Following
As
chaos, mate.
Meryl actually says to his brother, he says, it's like War of the Worlds. In fact, I listened to a great podcast about War of the Worlds for What's the Script. Have you heard of them, Graham? And Graham says, it's funny, mate. I listened to one about Mad Max, and it was bloody ripper. You know what I mean? That's what they said. That's in the film. Go and check it out. Morgan says the strangest thing to Uncle Merrill. Uncle Merrill's just comforting him and telling him some stuff. And Morgan says to him, I wish you were my dad. And Merrill just doesn't have it. He's like, Hull, don't you ever say that to me again. I never want to hear that coming out your mouth again, didn't he?
Aye, that's it. Aye, his dad loves him and all that stuff, and he'll do anything for him. Know what I mean? But
You don't get the level of deep resentment from Morgan towards his father. You
no,
get tiny snippets of like the bullshit comment and all that, and then walking away from him when he has to kill the dog. But when he says that, you're like, oh Jesus, can't blame his dad for that.
there's a demon in him. But as I said, they're sitting down like, what are we going to have for dinner? And everybody's rhyming off like their favourite dinner, what they want to eat, and all this stuff into it. And it's just like, is this your final meal? You know what I mean? Are you all just getting what you want to eat because it could be your last day on earth?
He is, man. And by the way, see Merrill. Merrill knows he's doing this and no saying a word
Aye.
because even his reaction. What do you want for dinner? Anything, anything at all. And he says, I think Morgan says French toast and mashed potatoes. And Graham's answer to it is, that's brilliant. And then Merrill says chicken teriyaki, and he says, now we're talking.
Aye.
It's dinner, mate. You know what I mean? Then you're like, oh, he doesn't think he's going to be here tomorrow.
Aye. That's it. You know what I mean? Because like he's already says, he doesn't believe that this is a sign or anything for God and all this. This is just the end, and nobody's coming for them. You know what I mean? But the next thing they're all sitting at this table, isn't it? And this is when all the emotion comes out, doesn't it? Because Graham doesn't want to say grace, and Morgan and the Waynes, well, the Waynes that day, didn't they? And this is where it all just comes out that Morgan thinks that Graham let his wife die and all this stuff. You know what I mean? And it's just all the emotion that obviously Graham was holding back as well. He just lets it out and all, didn't he? That
Aye, lets out his fear. He's obviously scared, but he's keeping it together. He thinks he's keeping it together for the sake of the kids, but we've all got a kind of a pressure point, I suppose, where it just gets too much and you need to let it out. So wee Morgan does, because they're all sitting around the table, they can't eat. This brilliant brilliant dinner, and Morgan just says, "I hate you. You let Mum die." Again, he doesn't snap. He just swallows it and goes, "That's fine, but I will not waste one moment of prayer in this house ever again."
Aye.
And he goes, "You're not going to eat? I'll eat something, everybody's." And he starts taking bits of the food, and it's so emotional, man. He's greeting as he's eating. It's brilliant bit of acting, man.
Aye, but it ends in an embrace with all the family, doesn't it? It's a big family hug, and they're all there. It's like they all know that that's the end sort of thing, isn't it? But nobody will say it.
Never go to sleep on an argument. Easier said than done, man. But aye,
the moment
great,
is interrupted.
Aye. Well, that dinner scene, that table scene, took 3 years to film. So I think that's remarkable, considering the level of emotion Mel Gibson shows. You know what I mean? But aye, you're right, mate. They are disturbed.
Aye.
And it's no the Jehovah's Witnesses, let me tell you.
Aye, because you hear the baby monitor again, didn't you? And you're just like, aye. Again, it's quite haunting again, isn't it? Because it's haunting. That's a good word. But
it's went up full bars this time. It's like, right, boys, go, go, go. And aliens, you know what I mean? They're just don't get monkeys. They're on their way. They've obviously cut all communications because the television's off, the radio's dead, all that kind of stuff.
Aye.
So the guy's boarding up all the doors. And Graham sees one, doesn't he?
Aye, he's looking out the window, isn't he? And he's just like that. Doesn't he say that, oh, they're coming or anything like that? He just turns about and it shuts the door and they start boarding the doors shut because they've not got enough boards to cover all the windows.
Aye. We don't see it, you know what I mean? Aye. But you just tell by his face as he looks, stops his train of thought, starts backing away. You're like, ah, he's seen one.
Aye.
Oh, Jesus.
But he's always it starts to become the father again, didn't he? Because he starts talking to Bo, didn't he? Telling her about the day she was born and all that, to like take their mind off it, tell them a nice story of their mother and all this stuff, isn't it? You're like, oh, that's dead nice. But
and again, that's nods to Shyamalan because the two stories of the children's births are his Wayne's births.
That's good. That's brilliant. Good. That. But again, this is where I wanted the aliens to win, because the family is all cowering indoors, right? Then the next thing you hear the dog outside barking, and Morgan goes, "Oh, we forgot the dog. You forgot the dog. You forgot the." Oh, that's it.
I can imagine you running outside in slow motion, adagio for strings playing, your hat blown off. Ah, Dakota! You're right, mate. You just hear the dog's barking replaced by, it wasn't a quick yelp, wasn't it?
No, it was a suffering whelp. Know what I mean? And it's just, you let this happen. You let that happen to that dog. So see, quite frankly, you deserve to get your comeuppance. That is it.
After the dog has expired, you then hear the porch wind chimes going. Somebody's knocked them about. Aye. And then the clip clap of toenails on the porch outside. Aye. And the shadows behind the boarded windows. Oh, Jesus.
Aye. It's like you know they're there, know what I mean? And you're not seeing anything, but you're like, oh no, deaths at the door, sort of thing. Because they're trying to find a way inside, didn't they? Because they start banging at the doors, they bang at the front door, and then to catch you off guard, the back door gets walloped and on. You're like, oh no!
Aye. So they get down the stairs, as you say. Well, they've been down the stairs. They're between the two front and back doors that are going. Oh, I'm in Scream here. Is this Scream 1? And then you hear the commotion up the stair, didn't you? And, oh
Aye.
no.
Because Meryl's like, oh no, they're in the house. And again, Graham sees Morgan, didn't he? Sees that the Wayne's terrified. He starts telling him the story, didn't he?
Aye,
When he was
buff.
born. Aye. But
So
next enough, Meryl's like that. He looks up and he clocks the attic door. And he's like, oh, here, Graham. Don't be alarmed.
aye.
But
The floor's on fire. And the chair. But before they make haste down to the basement, let's get that pan away for the front door, just as the hand's coming underneath it. And, oh, even saying it again, man. I'm like, oh, itchy.
Oh, terrible.
But this film is a great advertisement for draft excluders because all the doors are about that off the bottom of the floor.
But the family, they're hiding in the basement, aren't they? And it's just Graham standing beside this door, aren't he? And it's just
bracing it.
Aye, they're just waiting. But this is when it switches on into it with Graham in it. He's like, he thought he was ready to die, and he sees the door handle twisting, and he goes to stop it, and Anthony just says, I'm not ready."
Aye,
and you're just like,
aye. Even at that stage, having not seen the film, if you've seen it for the first time, who are you talking to? Are you talking to the alien? You talking to yourself? Or are you getting back in touch with the big man upstairs? You know what I mean? What's happening here? But for whoever he's talking to, he's like, no, I'm fighting. You know what I mean?
That's it.
Because he looks, and it's just his family there. They're scared. He's like, get something to brace the door. Get something to brace the door. So big clumsy Merle finds a pickaxe and rattles the only one working light bulb.
Aye.
And then there's a great bit of like kerfuffle in the dark, isn't there?
Aye. You don't know what's going on, so there in time, did they get in? Know what I mean? Are they safe or what is it? Know what I mean? And it's just, is it Bo? Bo finds the torch and points it at the door, and that's when you see Graham and Merrill are bracing the door, and they've put the pickaxe underneath the door handle so it can't be forced open. And you're just like, I don't know if I'm confident in that.
Aye, I've never tried that theory. It happens in a lot of films, man. I've never done it, tested it with a door in my life, but it's usually a chair in it. Usually do it with a chair.
Aye.
But I wouldn't be leaving the door unattended at all, man. They find an old radio that's still got power.
Aye.
No signal, but it's got power, even though it's been up there for 1,000 years. And they start rattling that door again.
Aye.
But Graham's a bit wily. He's a bit calmer, and he says, look, they could probably get through that door if they really wanted to. They don't want to. They're just, they're averting our attention. There must be some other way in here.
Aye.
And then he realises this house used to take coal back in the day, so there must be there's a coal chute in here, isn't there?
Aye, definitely. And then, see, this is what it's like. This bit's a bit Scooby-Doo, right? Because it's like, right, Meryl, you go that way, I'll go this way, and we'll meet in the middle, sort of thing. But the room's in complete darkness, apart from you can see Graham and Meryl, and they're walking the wide room, like, oh, I can feel it. Oh, so can I. I'm getting closer as they're getting closer together, and it's like, aye, it's in the middle, lads. See how the beefies are feeling it now. It's in the middle. But I remember this in the pictures, I know, mate. There was a woman beside me, and she definitely leapt at her seat, leapt at it, because as the light comes round, we see Morgan standing there, isn't he? And he's standing in front of this kind of grate. That's obviously the coal chute. And he's just like, oh, what's the matter? And you just see this camouflaged alien honing into it, grabbing Morgan. And I swear, see this woman, she took off like thunder pants, I'm telling you, man. And I was like, oh, that was your fault.
She jumped so high, she left her birth canal in the seat. So the torch
Oh.
then drops, but doesn't go out. And then we get a bigger commotion that we don't, what's going on? What's going on? What's happened? You just hear scuffling of feet, things get knocked over and all that, don't you? It's
Aye.
horrible.
Again, I just leaving it to your imagination, but again, the music, what if it's not again there? It just went,
Oh.
But
But Bo again picks up the flashlight and she's looking for people. And she brings the flashlight upon her dad, and he's got Morgan like kind of sitting, and Morgan's taking an asthma attack into it.
aye. Because they've not brought his inhaler down the stair. Meanwhile, Meryl's stuffed, I don't know if it's dog food or something, sacks up on. Because there's even a wee comedic bit in this and all, see to break the tension again, because there's this wee can of food, a line, and he goes, I'm putting that on and all.
That'll make all the difference. That's chilly, I don't know like that. Get up there. So, again, it's an ode to the character's calmness in a situation again. Obviously, being a father, he must have been well trained for that sort of thing, like being a calming influence on hysterics, you know what I mean? But he's got his boy in his arms, going to die if he doesn't get his medicine, do you know what I mean?
Aye.
Horrible.
But
and then he starts talking to God.
Starts talking to God, don't do this to me again and all that. I hate you and all this. And like Meryl's watching him, right? And he sees that he's acting more like himself again. See, talking Morgan through the asthma attack. Know what I mean? And it's just like, slowly but surely he's bringing back hope.
Aye, because he's saying to his boy, like, look, here it comes. Here comes the oxygen. Feel the oxygen. Breathe. Open your lungs. It's going to pass. It's going to pass. And Meryl, as you say, sees the change. He starts to recognise God again for being a bastard, basically, because he thinks he's going to lose his boy. So, and he becomes a father and forgets it. And it's good. It's heartwarming. It's poignant. But I didn't know how Meryl took that at that time. You see in a wee minute how he takes it. I thought he took it as a good thing. Oh, he's talking to God, but I'll explain it in a wee minute, won't he? There's a flashback again.
Because it goes back to the night that Graham's wife died, and again, interesting. It was like an accident, but the way it worked out is she was pinned against a tree with this truck, but she was pinned in such a way that it was keeping her alive, but she felt no pain and all that, but it was keeping her alive. And when they move it, she was obviously going to die. So she just had a couple of minutes to say goodbye, really, wasn't it?
Aye. Horrible, man. So it is. But they wake up and there's a voice just talking on that radio that they found, didn't they? Saying that they're leaving. It's over.
Aye. And it's just, you're saying that like they've been overwhelmed into it, they're leaving and all this, and it's like time we can leave this basement. But
they used some sort of poison gas. A lot of people died. That's all you hear.
Aye. But it's like you say, as Meryl was saying to Graham, I seen that look in your eyes of you giving up and all this stuff. I never want to see that in you again, because you're everything I want to be but can't be. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, that's you talk, son.
When he says it, Graham just goes, okay, and he goes, I mean it. He goes, all right, I mean it. So they realise, they see Morgan's no great. He says, look, needs his medicine. We need to go for this here. They test the baby monitor. There's nothing. And they say, good enough for me. Yes, me and all. Let's go.
And they're in this house, and the house has obviously been wrecked with these aliens running about in it. And they come out and they switch on the TV into it. and it's like celebrations, good times, and all this. Hey, you know what I mean? And they go, what is it? Graham says to Morgan, because he's left Morgan on the couch, and he's like, "I'll bring the TV in. You can watch the TV." And obviously, he unplugs it to move it right. And again, see this in the cinema, it got me because I was not expecting it. I'm thinking everything's done. This is it. This is the boring bit where it's like, oh, you survived, but no, here it was. When he pulls in, it's one of the old tellies with a big bulbous screen on it, and when he moves it,
Bulbous.
you see this alien stoning in the room, and you're just like that. Oh!
Aye. It's the reflection in the turned off television in it.
Aye.
And obviously you drop whatever crap's in your pants right there and then again. Oh, and the music just ramps up tenfold.
Aye,
and you're back again. Oh no.
I guess pure creepy again, isn't it? And it's, you see like Graham looking at this alien, and he looks at its hands and it's missing a couple of fingers. So it's obviously the one for Ray's pantry. And he's like, oh, he's come for revenge.
But the hand that he's cradling Morgan with, it's either invisible, it's like a chameleon into it, it's taking on the pattern of the boy's shirt and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And it's just, there's just this standoff that seems to last ages. Even when Meryl walks in, it's like, stop what you're doing, don't move, and all that. You're like, oh, what's going on here? The wee alien puts his wrist above Morgan's nose, and then a wee tube comes out, doesn't it?
Aye. And it's just, this is where Graham just remembers, doesn't he? He remembers that night with his wife, remembers the stuff that the wife says to him.
Back to the rest of the flashback, that's right.
Aye. And it's just, she says, tell Bo to keep playing a little games and all this, and like tell Morgan to keep looking after his wee sister, and tell Meryl to keep swinging away. And this is where it...
But before did you hear? I never noticed this before, right? I never noticed this until 2 nights ago. Before she says swing away to her brother, she says to him, tell Graham. He says, I'm here to see.
Aye.
What? See what? Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
And I never registered with me until the other night. I'm like, fuck. Jesus. And then she says as well, it was meant to be.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? So she says the same thing that Ray said.
Yep.
You know, like, fucking hell, man.
Aye. So that's it. It just all pieces together, doesn't it? So Graham like takes on the advice, doesn't he? Starts to see. He sees Meryl standing beside his bat. He's like, swing away, Meryl. And obviously he starts fighting with this alien. But the alien gasses Morgan, doesn't it?
Aye.
And just all hell breaks loose. Know what I mean?
The alien gasses Morgan. We both screams. So much so that the alien's back takes on her screaming.
Aye.
Which is brilliant, but it's no great to look at because of the CGI, but it's a brilliant idea. And then, like you said there, man, Meryl takes a swing, didn't he?
Aye. He just starts setting about it with this baseball bat. And so much so he hits it, and this alien knocks out a glass of water, and it burns the alien. And this is when, again, it's another like moment that it was all meant to happen. It was a sign, because there's glasses of water all over the place. You know what I mean? And it's just, Meryl just starts scalping these cups of water at this alien.
The best one being from the alien's view, for inside the alien's eyes, when it gets knocked over, it hits a cabinet, looks up, and the water just falls on top of it and like does it in, basically, doesn't it?
Exactly. But Graham's ran outside with Morgan, into, and I think he jags on with an EpiPen or something like that, or adrenaline, something along the lines. And he's just trying to coax some run. All the while, Meryl's fighting with the alien in the house. And like you say, you don't see the alien kind of dying, but you see its reflection on the TV that's knocked there, and it just stops breathing. But
tremendous, man. Just even that, a reflection, you know what I mean? But they all run outside to see how Morgan's getting on, and this is when Graham starts believing, he starts asking God for his help, starts believing that faith, it's all down to the power of God now. He's like, leave him, leave him, leave him.
Aye.
It's all right. It didn't get into his lungs were closed. Don't do this to me, blah, blah. And you're like, oh no.
Aye. And that's what he says. That's why he had asthma for this reason. Know what I mean? It was all coming to this reason. Know what I mean? And then, like he says, eventually the bold Morgan wakes up like he fell asleep at a night out. What happened? How did I get home?
I fucking just says, did someone save me? And it's just a pure release, man, of tension. And
Aye.
Graham just eventually says, I think they did, yeah.
See, this is what we both says as well. I dreamed this. And you're like, oh, she's got the shining.
See, I send me the water tastes funny. I don't like it. I don't like water. And this is her reading the aliens, dislike a water, know what I mean?
Aye.
But when he's holding Morgan, the camera just pans away to the house in a single shot, and it gets to a bedroom window, and it's suddenly snowing.
Aye.
They're like, oh, right, okay.
Aye.
But
Aye,
instead of saying fucking 3 months or 6 months later or anything like that, you don't need it.
Aye. Aye, that was it, because it switches from like the bolted up doors and all this stuff to like normal life again. And that's when you see Graham. He steps out the toilet, doesn't he? And he's back as a reverend wearing his uniform.
As he's doing his cufflinks, he's just standing and he can hear a happy house. He can hear his kids laughing and joking, and Meryl laughing and joking. And that's when he's realised everything's just went full circle. This is the way it's meant to be, you know what I mean?
And he just walks towards the screen and then that's it, done. Back to
Aye.
back to the Hitchcock credits.
Aye. And I remember reading at the time people saying, oh, no explanation what happened with the world and blah, blah, blah. It's not about that. It's not about the world. It's about this blooming house being affected.
It's the same thing that people said with the War of the Worlds remake. What happened? What happened with this? What happened with that? But it's not about that. Know what I mean?
Exactly. So that was it, folks. 2002. Signs, directed, produced, starred in greatly by M. Night Shyamalan. His best. I'm agreeing with Chris. It's his best. I watched Sixth Sense the other day and on. That's tired today's standard, but this isn't it. You give a pass for the CGI of the alien as well. I don't give monkeys because it's not about the sight, it's about the build up and the reveal and all that kind of stuff. And like Chris said, it's no what you see, it's what you don't and what you hear. It's just engaging. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I had it on my IMDb at an 8. I'm pushing it to a 9 out of 10 for me, mate.
I'd get a 9. Aye, because it's well written, mate. It's good. Everything all just comes together. There's a meaning behind it, and I mean, like I said earlier, it's about an alien invasion, but it's no. Know what I mean? It's like it's just it's playing on your anxiety and all this stuff. It's good, man. It's well done.
The invasion's almost a side plot.
Aye.
I know it's no, but it isn't because it ties in with everything, but it's to tie in with faith and all these signs and everything that happens for a reason and all that kind of stuff. It makes you feel kind of good and bad inside at the same time.
Aye. It's good, man. It's good. I mean,
Mel Gibson's just shit hot.
Aye. There's another film that's kind of like this, but it's more a horror. It's Dark Skies. Have you ever seen that? It's very similar, but it's good. I like that film as well because it's kind of like this, but it's more aiming at the horror stuff
And actiony bits in it and stuff.
Aye. It's more aiming that way, where this is just plays on other things.
Aye. The director's used my senses in his favour in this film. There's a build up and there's a payoff.
Aye.
Totally. So many levels, man. So there we go, mate. Love it. Glaswegianism for Signs. Not even got a day one. Think there is one. Can't be bothered then one.
Look at that.
Uh, 30 mile an hour. No swimming.
Bye.
So there we go, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. As always, that was episode 6, series 3, Let's Script. And we will be bringing you another bombastic classic next week in the shape of...
You'll have to guess.
Find out on next week's episode of What's the Script? Tune into the socials and we'll leave you some lovely little carrots a dangling.
Oh, your low-hanging fruit. Oh, that means something else, doesn't it?
Does aye. What film was that again? Can't remember.
But
right, I'm away.
Yes, say goodbye, everyone.
Thanks again, folks. Like, share, subscribe, and as Chris says there, cheery bye.
Yes.